Hello and welcome to another Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin special video. This class we are going to make my mini messages pocket. And I'm going to show you exactly everything you're going to need for this and how to fold it, how to cut it, how to glue it, how to stamp it, all that good stuff. We're going to make this little project. You're going to need your Fun in the Sun paper pumpkin kit from July. And the only thing you're going to need is that kit. And I'm actually going to use my paper trimmer scorer as well. And I'm going to show you how I did the project with just elements from the kit. And then I might sneak in a few mini dimensionals, as this kit did not come with dimensionals the way many of our other kits do. But I wanted you to see how you could make this sweet little project with just what's in the kit. So let's get on with the show. To start the project, we're going to use one of the envelopes from the kit here. So here's one. This is the base for everything, but we're going to do just a little bit of changing it up just a little bit. So here is the fold line, the score line for the top of our envelope. And what I want to do is I'm going, excuse me, I'm going to cut my envelope off. And here's you can kind of see where I'm lining it up. I'm not doing anything great or crazy. It's about 1/4 of an inch, but I'm actually just lined up with that this little spot right there on my trimmer. We're going to cut the envelope right off just like that. And we are going to fold on that score line. Okay, that'll just give us a nice clean top to our little envelope there. And now with this, with our envelope here, I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, and I'm just going to do a little pinch right there like that. That's where I know where I need to put my envelope in the trimmer, in the paper trimmer score. And I'm going to just give that a good score back and forth. And then we'll fold this in half and we'll burnish that score line with a bone folder here. Great. Okay, so there is the beginning. Now, this next little part that I want to do, and it's a small step, but I think it's a step that actually is going to make things look a little bit better. And that is, I'm going to clip in on the end of that score line right there. I've just clipped it in so that when we fold this over, none of that accidentally shows through. So see, there's part of that right there. So we're just going to clip this right on an angle just like that. Sorry if I was out of the camera there for that. So I've clipped that over, and now you see when we fold this over that none of that actually shows. Okay, just clipping it out. And I'm going to fold this open for just a second, and I'm going to put just a teeny bit of glue just to hold that down. Not heavy on the glue, just enough to hold it down. Okay. I also think that a little bit of that glue gives just a little bit of, it adds another little bit of, it adds a little bit of weight, and it just kind of makes things a little bit sturdier. And since this is going to be up at the top of our envelope here, it's just going to help things be a little bit more durable for that in and out. Okay, so next step, I'm going to take my glue here, and I'm using liquid glue. I'm going to glue the envelope in half, fold it in half. We're going to glue this shut. Just like this. Whoops. So we'll just kind of wiggle that into place. We'll let that set up. Now we're going to take our envelope here. And so our envelope is going to go right across the top of our paper here. We're going to fold it around. So we're going to try and find center. We're going to eyeball it. I'm going to move it this way just a little bit. Okay. And this is going to, we're going to wrap this side around to the back, and we'll wrap this side, keeping it good and tight, wrap this one around to the back as well. So that's kind of where we're going with things, folks. For right now, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to burnish my fold there with my bone folder just to clean things up. And now we're going to take this envelope flap front and we're going to put this around the top. Now, if you're wondering why I folded this over, I folded it over so that it gives this top edge a nice, see how everything's rolled and folded here? I wanted to maintain that and not have just one layer of paper there. So you're going to do it just, when you glue it on, just eke it up like a hairline higher than the top of the envelope, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. But it's a small touch that I think definitely is an important touch design-wise. Okay, so I'm just adding some glue all around. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, and now we will take our little pocket here that we've created and just add this, and I'm going just a teeny tiny hairline higher. We'll wrap that around and bring this around as well. Okay. Just will burnish that on. I'm just going to burnish with my fingers and the heel of my hand a little bit. And so there you have the back. Now, the back, we're going to actually do a little detail on the back at the very, very end. But I just wanted you to see, I have a little bit of it flapping up right there. So I'm just pulling a little scrap from my garbage can here. Just a scrap of paper. And I do this quite often. If I need to glue that down a little better, I just kind of reach in there and add that glue in there so that that will stay down. Okay, and I've got a little bit of glue on my fingers and a little glue on this. So I'm going to clean as I go here. And if I have a little bit of extra glue in places that I don't want, I'm just going to remove it with an adhesive remover. Okay, so there's the pocket. Talk about easy, but I wanted you to see that it actually does create, there's 2 pockets in there from the envelope, right? You actually could have a third, but if you do the third, it's gonna open up all, it's gonna fall through. So you definitely want to put it to each side of the envelope. And so you kind of have that, I just give it a squeeze and you can get the other side of the envelope, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. In fact, if you want, you could even we could squirt just a little bit of glue right in here just to hold that shut in case as somebody's putting things back into the envelope pocket here, it doesn't come out the bottom. There's that. Okay, so now let's decorate the front of this. And so everything that I'm using today comes from the Sun in the Fun Paper Pumpkin Kit. And so the first piece I'm going to decorate with is the palm tree. And what I want you to do is to cut your palm tree into 2 pieces, okay? Because what I'm doing is getting sneaky here, is this palm tree is going to go here and then in here. And if this is how tall it was, right? And I wanted to add one of the banners across the front like this. And it was just feeling like I was cutting off and not showing the palm trees very well. So that's why I cut it and I stretched it out and got myself a little bit more bang for my buck look-wise for this. Okay, so if you are just using elements from the kit, you're going to take the glue dots that came with the kit, or you could even take the tear and tape that came with the kit. And what I did is I painstakingly, because I was only using elements from the kit when this was designed, took these dots and I would put them on here and I would do them like here and here and here. And in order to make this dimensional, since I didn't have any dimensionals and the challenge was to only use pieces from the kit, I stacked my glue dots here. Now, this is actually a really cool look. So I stacked them 4 high. Each spot that I put glue dots, I stacked them 4 high. And the cool thing is you get some dimension, but it's not as much as a dimensional, but it's also not flat, which is a good thing. Because, flat's okay, but we like a little bit more dimension in things, right? So that's if you're just using the kit, stack your glue dots like that. Or what you could do is pull in some mini dimensionals. And so I am. I'm going to, when I make this one, I'm going to just add dimensionals to this project here. Okay. I'll do one more right about there. And so we'll put this bottom portion of our palm trees onto our little base here, our card base. And I'm going to set that, just put that little base right centered on your project, just like that. Okay. And now this one here, let's put some dimensionals on that. Again, when I made it originally and was challenged to just use elements from the kit, I stacked my my glue dots on this as well. And in each spot, I did stacks of 4. Well, that takes a little bit of time, but just know it's a cool way to add dimension if dimensionals are too much dimension and if you want to just have some fun. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of do this and draw this straight up like this. Bring it up a little bit off the edge. And now when we put this on, it's going to slip in there just like that, and you don't even notice that I separated my palm trees. But boy, does it add and give us a little bit more length, and it changes it up just a little bit. So I guess the name of the game here is to try you know, work your ephemera in different ways. Customize it and make it personal for what you're making. Okay, my dogs are going to bark, so sorry. I'm using the ink spot from the kit, and it's a Daffodil Delight ink spot. And here's my banner piece. And I'm going to stamp the banner with this stamp that says, "Sending an Ocean of Love." What a sweet little sentiment. So I'm just inking that whole thing up. The other way you can do this is throw your stamp on its back and come in at it this way. And sometimes with the spot, this is almost easier. Okay, so now let's stamp this just right in the center. Okay, there's my greeting. And I'm going to put this on with dimensionals as well. So we'll just put some dimensionals right through the middle here. 2 and 3 should be good. Okay, and now we'll just patch our palm trees here. I'm going to tuck this under that palm frond, and we'll reach this across, and I'm going to do it at a little bit of an angle. Well, let me move it over just a little bit, right about there. Okay, so there's my greeting. Now for the front of this, these flip-flops are part of this cute little kit here. And so I'm going to add my flip-flops right down here. And so I can see I'm going to need to put some glue and some dimensionals. So I kind of know that I need a dimensional right about there and there. So they're kind of right in the middle there. And the rest will be just kind of on top of that and on top of that. So maybe what I'll do, we'll pull these off, and I'm going to add just a little touch of glue right here on the bottom, and just a little bit on this one that I know for sure is going to reach up to this top. So this is going to just set right here, just like that. Cute, cute, cute. And so now my dimensionals are partially, so I have dimensionals where I need them, and then I have glue where I need glue. Okay, let's also add some sunglasses to this front. And so my sunglasses are kind of right about here, so let's do those with dimensionals as well. And so I'll just do one there, and then I'm going to put a little glue on the other side because I'm going to overlap them with the flip-flops. Okay, cute. If you missed my Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin class today, we did a lot of projects, alternative projects using the kit, and we did a lot of overlapping, excuse me, frog in throat. a lot of overlapping of these images. And so sometimes it needs glue and sometimes it needs a dimensional to get it up to the layer when it's partially on a lower layer and a higher layer. Okay, so there is the front. The last thing I want to do to the front of this is to add some of these sweet little gems here. I call these, they're like micro, because they're not mini. These are like micro mini sequins here. And so I'm going to do a couple of these. So we'll do one here. Whoops. Let's get it facing the right direction so it'll stick. There's one there. And we'll give this one another right nearby. So I have a couple right in there, just like that. So there's 1, 2, and I'm going to do 3, 4 over here. We're going to put 5 on this cute little project. So we'll do 1 there. And I did that right on the seam. That's okay. 1 right there. And I'm going to do a last one right up there, up towards the top. There you have it. There is our pocket for our mini messages. We'll put the mini messages inside, but let's actually add one more detail to this. Let's turn this over, and I want to stamp the word hello in here. And where did I get the hello? Well, I have, where are my stamps here? Let's see. So with my stamps, here's my sheet of stamps. There's a waving hello and there's hello sunshine. But I want the hello, I want this hello that has an exclamation point on it. And I don't want the entire waving hello. So many of you know that I have actually cut mine right in half. Okay, so, but I've cut it in half, but I can always put it right back together. And so I'm going to put the hello on the top of a block here. And I'm going to ink up with my little spot. So this is the ink spot that comes with the kit. And I'm going to stamp the word hello right in the center, right where these 2 flaps come together and there's a gap. Well, since there's a gap, I'm going to make it seem like it was designed this way and I don't just have a gap. And to finish this off, I'm going to add a little starfish right there. So it's just, you know, fun. We're adding just a little hint of decor on the back, but look at your layers and your fronts, your backs, you know, finish things off while all of your stamps are out, right? Finish things off and just kind of make it charming both on front or in front and in back. And so here's my original that I'm working off of, but that's what I did. So just add a little bit of that splash of design. It just kind of finishes things off and adds a great finishing touch to our project here. Whoops, I just gouged it. Okay, so there's the front. Now, what didn't come with the kit is Wink of Stella. And if you want to add a little Wink of Stella, because you know that if you're like me, I like it and I might add it somewhere, you can, but you don't have to. But there's the pocket. Now, let's create, here's my original, let's create the mini messages that go inside. So let me show you what we're going to need for these. We'll just kind of move this out of the way. We are going to need a couple of the card bases here. So we're going to need this card base right here, and we're going to need this card base here. So both of our mini messages are going to be built on these 2 sides. So if you take your trimmer, what you're going to do is put the left side of your card at 2 inches. So put that left side right at 2 inches. And with your trimmer, just pull down. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to keep this card intact. But what you'll end up with is you end up with a nice 2-inch little tiny card here. And if you fold that in half, so that's where I got my first mini message card. The second mini message card, which I have here, is going to come from this card base. And so this, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to put this in your left edge at 2 inches and then just give it a nice cut. Again, I'm going to keep these intact because I can use these to make other cards. The cool thing is this section here ends up being 3.5 inches wide. And so if you saw my Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin Facebook Live earlier today, you saw how I used these 3.5 inch sides over here for slimline cards. So it's a good, you can kind of dual purpose. You don't just have that scrap left over. You can use both. Okay, so that's where you're going to find the bases for our two little mini messages here. And these are mini. Bring in your bone folder and just give a nice burnish to those score lines there. And the other thing we're going to need are the surfboards. And so I had a scrap of the surfboards, which is why I'm going to use them here. So I'm going to cut them apart. And so for this one, I'm just going to I'm going to follow the line, and I'm going to cut this green surfboard right out, just like so. And I'll even just clip right across here. There's a little bit of a hang right there, so let me just trim that off. It probably won't show, but there's my first surfboard. And the cool thing is the surfboard is actually, you know, part of the tab to pull it out of the card, the envelope pocket. For this one, it doesn't really matter how much, you're just going to save some, and it's going to glue to the back, just like that. Okay, so that's where those are going to go, but I can't just glue this to the back and it's going to look terrible, right? We don't want that. That's tacky looking. So we're going to have to tackle this and make it better looking. And to do that, I have part of an envelope here that I used earlier today. And so let's just use some of this paper here. And I am going to cut myself, let's just cut this apart. Let's break the envelope down, I like to say, to make it a little bit more easy to work with. I like to just kind of chop the sides off so that then I can open this up. I can open this, and now I have access to all this paper. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of cut a section from here. So let me cut this off. Save that. That's a great print. I've seen people using this for like putting little beach towels on their alternative cards. I've used it to punch sales. I've used it in all kinds of ways. It's a great piece of paper. But now that I have this straight, I need a piece. I want it to be 1 7/8. Actually, I want it to be just, here's 1 7/8. I want it to be 1 15/16. How's that for an obnoxious measurement? But I want it just inside the 2-inch mark. So there's 1 15/16. And now I'm going to do this. Well, first off, I've got a funny end there. So let me make both my ends a little bit crisper, if that makes sense. So I've just squared that one off. So now this one's going to be, so instead of 4 1/4, because that's how long this back piece is, I want it to be 4 1/3/16. So wait, yeah, 4 3/16. Just inside there. So we're just cutting it basically just inside that measurement of the 2 inches by whatever it is, if you know what I mean. It's going to be the back of this one. So we're just covering this up so that it looks better. Okay, so speaking of better, I better look at my my originals here and make sure we're actually putting the right things in the right place. And I'm glad I looked, because I have the wrong things. I have the things in the wrong places. Okay, so this goes this way. This one's going here. Okay, and then this one is going to go to the back of that. And that goes to the back of that. So many bits and pieces. So let's do this one first. We'll take this one out of the way for now. Let's just move this into place. And so we're going to glue this one on. So I'm just going to put a little glue right here on the bottom. And this has, I've given it a little bit of a tilt so that when it's in the pocket, they don't look so straight up and down. So there's my first little surfboard. Okay, again, I mentioned that these are the tabs to pull them out. I thought, what a clever tab, because I do like a tab or a ribbon or something on, you know, when you're putting something inside like an envelope like that, you want to be able to pull it out easily enough. And so I thought the surfboards were a fun way to do that. So now, like I say, let's cover the mechanics up here. And the nice thing is, using that envelope, it's a very, very, very similar color. But there you have it. Now that's covered up and it looks much better. And I got glue from my finger on there. Okay, so there is the start of that one. Now for this, we're going to use one of those. And then also for this, I'm going to use another layer. These are both pieces from the kit. And it looks like we have a starfish on this one. So we'll tuck a starfish in there as well. Okay, so let's do this front. So the front, we're going to put Hello Sunshine. So if I bring my stamps out, get them in the right direction. Here's Hello Sunshine, right here. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, maybe you can or you can't. I have cut this one in half, just like I did the one that says waving hello. So I'm going to put the hello on one half of my block, and then I just flip this over, and I'm going to put sunshine on this half of the block. Okay. Set my stamps aside, and let's stamp this tiny little tag right here, and we'll stamp it again with the yellow. And so here's the hello, inking that up. And we're going to put this just kind of right up at the top. We'll center it. So there's hello. And now we'll do sunshine right across the bottom. Hello, sunshine. What a cute greeting, right? I like the waving hello and hello, sunshine. Just trying to ink this up. And now this is a tight fit, but it does fit. And it does look good. Right there. Cute. Super cute. Okay, get my ink pad out of the way. I'm going to add a couple dimensionals to this. Again, when I made the original, I only used elements from the kit and I stacked the glue dots. This is a little faster than stacking all those glue dots. So this is going to sit right in there. Now, you don't have to do this on that. You could just stamp the Hello Sunshine right on this layer. But man, if I can add dimension, I'm going to do it. I mean, that's half the fun, right? So let's put some dimensionals on here for our little pocket element. And I'd kind of do one right down there towards the bottom of that stake that holds up the sign. Okay, then we'll add this to the bottom of our little pocket card here. And this is going to set just like so. How cute is that? Super cute. And now our little starfish, I'm just going to kind of, let's see, I get the right direction. I'm trying for one of these longer arms. Okay, and I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of that. But I'm going to kind of lace it. Some's going to go behind. See how I have one of the arms behind and the rest are in front? So we'll just do one behind, just to kind of make it look like it's kind of hiding there. All right, that's that. Let's add some of the gems, some of these little mini, teeny, tiny, micro, cool little sequins. So I'm doing one on the horizon line and another one down here in the sand. Bring it down just a little lower. That's better. And then I'm going to do another one over here. Just kind of right in. I'm going to make it a little bit higher. I'm going to do it a little different than this one. I'm going to bring it up to here. Okay, just because my spacing's a little bit different. But there's the front of this, and I like to give these an extra little press just to really press them into place. Then for the inside of our little mini message here, we have a couple greetings going on because let's make the insides fun while you have the stamps out. Just, you know, get her done. So the starfish. Cute little starfish image in the stamp set. But I think I want some scratch paper here for just a second. So if I have the starfish, you can see I have 3 of them stamped here, but I did not stamp these full strength. So I'm going to ink up the starfish and stamp off. And then we'll add a starfish to the right side. And it's really faint, I know. But that's what I'm looking for. And I've rotated that image. I don't want it to be the same. So there's another one there. And then let me bring in this, we're gonna stamp this and it's gonna come in here, but let me just kind of do a little bit of a placeholder. Okay, my other one needs to be right about there. I'm just using my finger as kind of a guide for where I want that other one. So there are, whoops, she's spinning out here. So there are those three. And let's stamp the greeting. Get that out of the way. Let's stamp the greeting. Relax. Here it is. Relax. You deserve it. So let's do this in the delightful Daffodil Delight. I keep doing delightful. I'm like, that's not what it is. It's Daffodil Delight. So I'm just inking this up again. I can turn it over and give it a good ink up. And so for this one, just straight down, straight up, right in the center. Cute. And we'll put that on with, guess what? A couple dimensionals. Because we can. All right. That is the inside of this one. So I'm just giving myself right here, I'm giving myself some even, so I'm even on the left, the right, and the bottom. And I have a little bit, does it surprise me that I have a little extra glue here and there? So we'll just clear that away. And now it can be added into my pocket. And let's see. I don't know which is, yeah, this is the pocket we're making today. This one has dimensionals. And so you can see how the envelope, how it kind of is splitting in half there. So, and you can reach your finger in and kind of move those flaps from side to side. So I'm going to move it to one side and add this one to the back. And I'll just kind of, when we go to open it the next time, we'll just move that over to the other side to slip the other one in on the other half. Okay, so there's my original of that one. We'll put that one away. Now let's make our second tag. So here's our muse, and here's what we're going to be copying. So we need the crab. I love this crab. I wish, so the flip-flop, sunglasses, crab, starfish, I wish they had given us like triple the amount. That would have been a lot of fun. Okay, this time I'm going to use Waving Hello, and I'm going to use the Waving Hello. So here's hello. Remember, we used that on the back of our little envelope. And then here is the other half of that image, waving. It's like, hey, she's got him going backwards in all kinds of directions. Again, I cut it in half. But there's hello on one half of the block. Here's the waving on the other. So I'm going to stamp waving first. Okay, and that's going to go right at the top. So cute. And then we'll do hello, which I have here on my block. Okay, ink it up nice and perfect. Okay, so there's waving hello. So now I'm going to take the crab here, and Stampin' Up! Gave us these little tiny slits in the claws. And this is super cute. If you just kind of pop that open, he or she, I don't know if it's a girl lobster, crab, it's a crab, right? So this crab is holding this sign, right? I'm going to turn my sign over, and I'm going to put a dimensional right there. Okay, so now the dimensional is giving me dimension, but at the same time, it's helping to hold the sign in his claws. So we'll do the same thing on that side. We'll just use it to hold it in place. Okay, just get it right how I want it. Cool. And then I'll put another dimensional up here, just like that. Okay, we'll take these off and add it to our front. Whoops. This one didn't quite get inside. It's in the claw, but it's not staying. Now, this surfboard here, we need to put this down. I'm going to put this down with glue. I'm going to put it on a little bit of an angle like so. And then I'm going to set my crab here. And let's see. I got to get that back in there. Okay. And let's see. It's going to show just a little bit. So I am actually going to trim just a little bit of this off. Just a tiny bit. Because I want it to look like it's stuck in the sand. down in the sand, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm going to do there. And so it was at a slightly different angle. So, oops, I just about blew it. Do not put glue up at the top of your surfboard. See how it sticks out on that end? So I just about did the whole thing. So let's just do this bottom section. Okay. Now take your surfboard and make it look like it's in the sand. So see how I'm on the angle? And that's why I trimmed that little wedge right here. That's why I trimmed that off. Okay. Get this in place. Okay. And now for our little crab. Oh, I see what I did different. This time it's on top. I like it underneath better. Oh yes, that's funnier. Okay, and now this is going to come right into here, just like that. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so we'll finish this like we have done the other pocket message, and that is to add some gems. So I'll add 3 here. Here's 1. We'll put it kind of right in here, and then I'll do another up here on the horizon line. And then 1 down here in the water. How cute. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, let's open this up and do a little bit of added decor inside. And so, again, let's use one of these tags from the kit. And this time, we're going to use the same ink pad, but we're going to use the greeting that says, "Wish you were here." And that is in the kit. All of these greetings. Again, everything comes from the kit except the mini dimensionals. We'll stamp that right there. Fun, 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 fun. We'll take our little spot away. We'll add this with dimensionals, but before we add this, we're going to stamp the sun. And we'll do the same thing with the sun that we did with the starfish. And that is, we'll stamp it off. And that will, the reason I stamped it off was so that it, we had a couple different, we had variation in our ink. So we had some that's really intense yellow and then some that is more subdued. It's stamped off. So we'll ink up the sun here. And we'll stamp off on our scratch paper. And now we'll bring this over. We'll stamp our sun right about there. Awesome. And then this, let's pull off the dimensional covers. This one will just sit right on top. So unlike our first card, we're going to have kind of an even border on right and left, but I'm dropped down just a little bit. I'm not quite as high on this one. Okay, there's the inside of that. So we'll close this up, close this one up, and we will get our project here. And so when we pop this open, I'm going to move the flaps of the envelope, just kind of train them. Once it's kind of trained, it's easy to kind of get them to go from side to side. So I'm just sticking my finger in there and pushing these that way. And this one is going to set right inside there, like so. Maybe. No, it's going in the wrong slot. Okay. You're going to watch me fumble here for a second, but let me just reach in here with a tool. There we go. Like I say, once you have it trained, it's a little bit, it behaves a little bit differently. Okay. So much work just to get it in there, but there it is, and super cute. Just like that, this slides down in, and then these surfboards kind of stick out the top so that they know that they can pull these out and pull a little message out, pull, you could stick a gift card in there. There's different things you could do with this sweet little pocket. I called it a mini message pocket holder. So just kind of fun, something a little bit different, but again, using everything from the kit. I hope you enjoyed it. Do please subscribe to my Seeing Ink Spots YouTube channel and also give me a thumbs up. It's right down there. Give it a thumbs up if you like my video. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.